is Fatima Abdul and this is my ABA 632 overview video. I'll be discussing my SAFMEDS data and progress, my study methods and adjustments or intervention strategies, and whether or not my objectives have been met so far. So here we can see my ABA 632 SAFMEDS data chart, and my ACEL scores for each deck have been gradually increasing from implementation. They move from a low level below the aim to a high level within the aim band, and they've been gradually, my ACEL scores have gradually increased with low variability. For each deck, they've been moving from a low to a high level, and my DCEL scores usually range from 1 to 10 on day 1 to 2 of the implementation of each new deck, and then after day 2 they stabilize and go to a low level with a 0 trend with high stability and very low variability after that. This is usually due to the use of my interventions and strategies. So my main intervention is called my new deck technique, where for each new deck, it's really my study method for each new deck, where I would separate the cards into same or similar terms, and then I would study each term, each pile of terms, and then I'll combine them all until and go through them until I know them fairly well. By the end of this, I think that I have a really good foundation of all the cards, and this really increases my recall during the timed sessions. After this, if I find that I'm not making upward progress with my ACEL scores, which is my main objective usually after meeting the aim of 14, I implement 2 other strategies as needed. My first strategy would be to include a pre-trial. So this would be an untimed pre-trial involving going through the entire deck before I start my time trials. This acts as a refresher of the content and a little mini study session before I start my time trials with the deck, and it helps to refresh the content of the cards before I start it. If that doesn't help to increase my ACEL scores from the previous day, which is my goal usually, I also include increasing my timed trials. So I increase my time trials from 5 trials to 10 trials, and then I take the best score from that. By the end of the implementation of all of these strategies, I'm usually able to increase my ACEL scores and make consistent upward progress. Additionally, by week 2 of each deck, I usually meet the aim of 14 in week 2. And other intervention or study strategies or intervention strategies that I use would be to declutter my space and clear my work areas before I start my sessions, so that this helps to mentally prepare me for the work, and so it's clutter-free and with no distractions. Also, I would try to do my SAFMED sessions before I start doing any of my other work, so that I'm not mentally tired at the end of all of it. So this really helps as well with recall of the cards and increasing my scores. Also, my fluency deck for ABA 632, I've had to plot my data on fluency decks 3 and fluency deck 4, all of which you can see my ACEL data scores have been at a high level with low variability. They seem to be at a plateau, and my scores range from between 20 to 25 with high stability. My DCEL scores also stay at a low level and a 0 trend across all days, and this really shows that I've that I have like mastery of my previous decks. My scores range depending on which cards I shuffle in to use for that deck for those sessions, and this really depends on how long each term is and how many cards I can complete in 30 seconds. Aside from that, I think I've been meeting my objectives of meeting the aim band within the second week and also increasing my ASL scores consistently. I've also been able to have a fair balance of my work and school obligations, and that has been my SAFMEDS data overview for AB632 till week 7 so far. Thank you very much.